Hello, I am the author of the book Remnant Education and the other book, Biblical Heavenly Signs. I'm going to talk about both of these books because I think that they could improve the conditions of humanity. It could improve the lives of those who are interested in going to college, and it can also improve the spiritual life of people who are just interested in restructuring their understanding of the Bible. Basically, Remnant Education is a book that helps people learn about how to develop their own college degree. This can save them a ton of money. I mean, a whole lot of money. It can also save a lot of energy and time and wasted effort in classes that don't really matter that much to the student. Sometimes there's a lot of college classes that are useless. There's no amount to them because they're so morally corrupt. The classes are so junky. But then there are some really important classes that can really enhance your skills and abilities. So not every college class is bad. So I wrote the book called Remnant Education. The Biblical Heavenly Signs book is about how to study astronomy from a biblical standpoint. It also looks at the Qumran calendar. The Qumran calendar was used in the ancient days, and some people have been studying this Qumran calendar, and they have discovered many things about it. They discovered many different patterns and things that the ancient people used to develop this particular calendar. And other people have structured this calendar in such a way to use it in real life. Anyway, you can look at either of these books. I'd like to read a little bit from the book Remnant Education, so that you can get an idea about how this book can help you save money in college, and if it can also help those who are in persecution areas, like a country that encourages education in a nasty way. It has a lot of indoctrination. It says nasty things about the Jews or about Israel or any of those types of things. This book can help people who are in heavy indoctrination areas. Countries like Pakistan, where there's a lot of terrorism problems going on. A book like this can definitely help. Anyway, I'm going to read a little portion from this book. Alright, so I'm going to read from the chapter about creating a class that will fulfill requirements for knowledge and wisdom. Proverbs 2, verse 6, For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Biblical investigation in knowledge and wisdom. The student who pursues college should do his or her best to incorporate biblical knowledge into his or her curriculum. He should gain so much knowledge that when the trials of life come upon him, he will know what to do in difficult circumstances. What does the Bible have to say about knowledge and wisdom? In Proverbs 18:15 states, The heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of wise seeketh knowledge. This verse does not indicate that the man or woman pays for a large college expense to get knowledge. Rather, he or she searches for it. He or she may visit a library regularly and get knowledge through books. Simply writing an outline of each book that is read will help the person get knowledge. The wise man will seek knowledge. He may perhaps seek for it through asking people from different cultures different questions. He or she may find the ability to discuss hot topics without forming the belief that he or she stands firmly for or against a certain set of beliefs. The knowledgeable man, in essence, does not just accept what his college professor tells him. Rather, he chooses to do research and search for the answer himself. Number 2. Adding insufficient biblical studies into a class. Many secular liberal arts classes do not incorporate biblical advice or questions. In fact, many professors despise the use of scriptures to formulate questions and come up with solutions or answers. Unfortunately, some Bible colleges are so severely stuck in the problems that the Bible is the only answer to life's issues that they happen to ignore the reality that people have solved problems in life before the existence of the Bible. Hence, people can become unwise scorners of the wise people in society, thus leading to sin on the biblical college students' part. As the Bible verse says in Proverbs 26:16, The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. Hence, in this verse there is slack and sluggishness from a certain angle in the student. Either it is in the secular man who does not want to use scripture, or it is in the pride-filled Bible studies man who does not want to rely on general reason. One of the two sides considers itself wiser. Essentially, there is an inner battle between the two beliefs. A battle for biblical knowledge as ultimate guide, and a battle to supply general human wisdom and reasoning. One of the first suggestions is to incorporate specific Bible passages for a major into each course syllabus. Each course will require the student to learn and memorize a whole chapter of the Bible or investigate certain parts of the Bible. Write out a specific objective that allows a student to question how biblical knowledge supplies sufficient resources in the study of philosophical study, for example. Each quiz or test will include testing on the memorization of Bible passages as well as the general knowledge presented in books or literature that was used in learning. No test or paper will leave out biblical knowledge as a resource. Perhaps in one test, the student is asked to fully outline a few chapters of Bible, as well as answer questions about the difference between modern psychology and the book of Proverbs. In another class, the student is asked to compare modern Jewish practices with modern culture practices of the Native Americans, while explaining how the Bible incorporates a unique biblical calendar structure that outlines culture and social events. Essentially, a class will be sufficient in generating biblical and secular knowledge if it focuses on Bible as a theme for generating questions. No biology lesson will eliminate Bible, because Bible passages about eagles, cypress trees, and more will be incorporated. So that's a little passage from the book Remnant Education. And if you read this book, I am sure you will learn how important knowledge is, especially from a biblical and a secular view, tomorrow, in the future. So it's always going to be needed, whether we realize it or not. In the book Biblical Heavenly Signs, this book can help you along with the book Remnant Education, but it's not necessarily necessary. It can help you understand that, knowledge comes from on high. It comes from up above. It comes from heavenly things, heavenly realms. We're here once and then we're gone. So this book can help you. It's very interesting because I did not know about the Qumran calendar until after I graduated from college, after I studied a lot of math. And it's just interesting to find all these different patterns. It's amazing. I would love to have a very intelligent child who is going to college learn the biblical heavenly calendar. Anyway, I'm just going to leave you with these thoughts, and I hope you are willing to go to the website www.remnanteducation.blogspot.com to find my book. And you can also find Biblical Heavenly Signs right on Amazon.com. And I hope you check that out soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Sunset.